A treasured tree has reached the end of its life, but not before taking root in the hearts of many. Those who've cared for it have found ways for it to live on for generations to come. 630's Evan Summers has more on the Hobson Oak.
For as long as Naperville has been around, so has the historic Hobson Oak.
The tree was on the Barnard Miller homestead. Of course, that Miller is my maiden name. They came in 1838. Lots of history. Lots of kids and grandkids and great-grandkids and great-great-grandkids. They all played in the tree.
The Bur Oak, located on what is now Hobson Road, served as a place of play and relaxation for several generations of the Barnard Miller family.
That was always our family tree. The neatest thing was where it had been graphed after it got struck by lightning, there was a hole, and we always used to crawl up in there and stick our heads through and look down. So when I was grown and had children of my own, I had them go up there and took a picture of each one of them looking through that hole.
We would climb up in the tree and carve our initials up in the tree and things like that, and play army and all sorts of things. It was a very distinctive tree, and it was one of those things that yes, you thought would always be yours.
Many neighbors also grew up feeling the magnitude of the oak.
You can just wonder how these big cantilevered branches are so long and so heavy and go so far away from the main trunk that what is in that joint is holding that tons of wood up in the air is unbelievable. I mean, you can just marvel at it.
DuPage County later took over the property, but the oak was still recognized and admired by countless people who drove, walked, or biked underneath its branches.
The Hobson Oak, for my life, has always been a feature on the landscape. The Hobson Oak has been an identifier on Hobson Road. When you're traveling, you know you're arriving in Naperville. There's the welcoming branches.
Branches that slowly sagged lower as some of the tree's limbs died and the trunk decayed, leading multiple arborists to recommend its removal.
And it is a very sad, bittersweet decision that has had to be made, and not without a heavy heart, and not without professionals being involved, and not without many partners in the celebration of its life.
A group of those who loved the tree most gathered underneath it on a Sunday afternoon to share stories, reminisce, and say goodbye to the oak that has meant so much to them.
I thought it would be neat to come out and hear everybody's stories about how they had grown up here and what it had been like, and it was great. There were people climbing up into the tree that had done that when they were 4 and 5 years old and having trouble getting up there now, and it was really neat. It was a way to honor and come and say goodbye to something that's been here for longer than any of us standing here.
Every time I see it, what amazes me is its reach. It's like it has all these arms reaching out to heaven. It's just beautiful, and they're kind of gnarly and they're curved, and honestly, it's a work of art, and I think of that every time I see it. It's been a way of life for people that live and travel in this area. It's going to be very hard to see it gone.
It will not be forgotten, as the Naperville Parks Foundation has partnered with many local groups and businesses to keep the tree's legacy alive, repurposing the wood into furniture, jewelry, and other decorative pieces.
Our company will, as a whole, and then me individually, creating and designing stools, side tables, chairs, trying to get as many pieces as we can. If it means, making coasters, then that's what we'll do.
The pieces will later be sold to benefit local not-for-profits like the Parks Foundation. And the tree's acorns were also gathered with the intent to germinate them, growing them into saplings so the oak can live on for generations to come.
It was clearly a special tree, and the neat thing about this project is the stories that have come out of all the memories and stories and what it means to people. It means too much to too many people to have it just be chipped into wood.
Meaning that is planted in the hearts of many.
It's a tree, but then again, it's not just a tree. Only God can make a tree, but the memories are what we add to it.
You can keep up with the tree's latest developments at hobsonoak.com. Reporting for 630, I'm Evan Summers.